Hey, what's going on everybody? Gray Alistair here, and welcome to today's exotic lost sector. This is K1 crew quarters. This lost sector is actually a little bit difficult. I struggled with it for a bit until I got a rhythm down. But so long as we bring the proper equipment, we should be good to go. So without further ado, let's get this bread. Alright, so let's start with some recommendations. I highly recommend a poison weapon for these overload champions. It is very annoying to not have one because the poison constantly ticks and constantly stuns them and constantly does damage and prevents them from healing. So Osteostrega or Le Monarch is one of my suggestions, or two of my suggestions. And as for a heavy weapon, I highly recommend either having a linear fusion rifle, get those precision shots, or a rocket launcher. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. In the first area, there will be multiple Vandals, a group of Dregs, and an Overload champion. Be warned that once you clear enough the Vandals and Dregs, a second wave will spawn in, and then you'll have two Overloads to deal with instead of just one. I advise taking out the first Overload before activating the second wave. If it gets too crazy and you need to heal up, feel free to retreat back to where you spawned in. A couple decent locations for cover include this location right here on the right and this location down here on the left. The second location is a little bit ballsy, but it works so long as you're aware of where the enemies are. Alright, next. The hallway to the next area here has two exploding shanks in it. They are tricky. They are hiding behind the boxes. Clear those out, and then you can move along. In the second area, I like to section off these two locations, the left and the right side. These two sides are sectioned off by the cliff running down the middle. An Overload champion will spawn immediately alongside some Dregs and Vandals, and depending on which way you choose to go, it will either go left or right. Just because that's how the AI works, it wants to shoot you, it wants to kill you. As with the previous area, if you clear too many adds, the next wave will spawn. I also advise taking out the first Overload before activating the second wave, because this second wave spawns in another Overload, a Barrier Champion, Exploding Shanks, and a bunch more Vandals and Dregs. Also, keep an eye out for the Invisible Marauders. They are also in abundance in this location. Take out what you can, then work on the Barrier Champion. Once the Barrier Champ is gone, you can easily clear the rest. Alright, area number 3. This third area sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There isn't much cover, and the best spot for us is in the tube behind this metal plate. Keep an eye out for exploding shanks spawning in behind you as well. Unfortunately, you can also be seen by two solar shielded tracer shanks up on the ridge. Take them out before you take on the Overload, Barrier, and group of Vandals directly in front of you. Kill what isn't immune from the Servitor Shield, then try your best to stick behind cover while getting some shots in on the Barrier Champion. Once the barrier is gone, you can clear whatever's left. Alright, so once you head up the ridge and over this minor parkour jump, you'll see a barrier servitor and some more adds. Clear them out and the boss will be on your left. In this boss arena, there's immediately an Overload, some Dregs, and the boss itself, all ready to shoot you. My advice would be to kill the Overload first, because once you damage the boss enough, a barrier servitor and a group of wretches will spawn in. Kill the champs, then all that's left will be the boss and an infinitely spawning group of wretches. Kill the boss, claim your loot, get the gold. Happy farming, Guardians.